Hello, good morning. It's Wednesday the 15th. I'm FX Plu and this is the market brief. So the unemployment rate for November fell to 4.2%. That was down from 4.3% in October, and unfilled vacancies reached a record high. So the end of furlough looks to have had little effect on hiring. We saw 257,000 new jobs created, which is the biggest monthly rise since 2014. The fear about furlough was that employers were only holding on to staff because of the support they were receiving, but the fear of widespread job losses once the furlough finished appears to have been unfounded. But there is still everything to play for at the MPC meeting, and there is very little confidence in any of the predictions flying around about tomorrow's vote at the moment. CPI inflation data was released this morning, and that surged to 5.1%. That's up from 4.2% last month and way over forecast, expected at 4.7%. So that all adds to the case that the MPC should raise interest rates to help curb rampant inflation. But meanwhile, there's also a school of thought that suggests that the MPC will hold fire for another month to see how Omicron affects supply chains over the busy Christmas period. Whilst that is a perfectly valid approach, this course of action may see the MPC accused of dithering, given the high inflation data that came out today. Sterling reached a high of 132.55 against the dollar yesterday, and while we did fall back on the day, we open around that level again this morning after the inflation data surprised to the upside. Over in the US, the Fed won't raise rates today, but it should still be the most hawkish meeting for quite some time. Just 1 month ago, they started to taper economic support, and already they're expected to double the pace of the taper from $15 billion a month to $30 billion a month. That is pretty much in the bag, certainly as far as the markets are concerned. So the tone of Powell's press conference will have a more significant effect on the market. He's expected to be more hawkish in his comments. Good morning. Laying out a tentative timetable and the factors that will dominate the decision and the wider conditions that will be needed for any rate hike. The market looks ready to act on the outcome of today's meeting, and the tone of Powell's comments is likely to affect the dollar. Yesterday, the dollar index moved higher, testing resistance at 96.60, and euro dollar opens this morning around 112.70. Right, that's it from me. I should go and recover my dog. Join me again tomorrow.
If you do not have a clue, then just tweet through and ask FX Blue.